I'm Van.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Vita and Chip.
And Rocky. Somebody was like, I noticed you don't mention Rocky. Is he on timeout? So.
Is he on timeout?
Gotta give respect to the big homie.
No, Vin was just getting too lazy. He just wanted to say booby, 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 booby.
Exodus, Fates, warning.
Judge thee.
Patreon pick, y'all. This is a Patreon. I forgot the name of this alliance. I feel so terrible.
You should feel terrible.
What's the name of the alliance? The Epic Underground Alliance.
What genre are they?
Metal. I think this is actually the band that Kirk Hammett was in.
Yeah.
Before he went to Metallica.
Oh, really?
And then he got drafted by Metallica, and that's all she wrote. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Don't take our word for it.
This is the one we listened to.
We're still learning.
This is the one we listened to. And this is the band we listened to when we got that big. Me and you got in the big jihad over the hijabs.
Oh.
And you were wrong. Everybody took your side.
That's because I was right.
If you want to join a Patreon alliance, it's very simple. Entry level's $1. If you want more points, because the dollars get converted to points, and then the folks get together, they form alliances, they put their points together so that they can push their song requests to the front of the line.
Yep.
If you obviously the more you put in, the more points you get, all the rest of it. But I mean, like I said, the vast majority, like 85% of folks are at the $1 level. It's just about being able to get smart and recruiting each other.
Yeah, the $1 point is actually the most concentrated point because it's actually $1. You get 1 point.
Right, Chris. I'm pretty sure Christopher Culp is a leader of the Epic Underground Alliance. Pretty sure.
Find him on Facebook.
You can find him on Facebook. So you're gonna get 2 songs a week. Mm-hmm. Out of 14, if you're not a patron, that's completely cool. You get 12 songs out of the week. Mm-hmm. And so it's really fun. I get to watch the conversations happen in the Alliance chats and stuff. Yeah. Some of them we don't get invited to. Like the True Cult people are very secretive.
They're True Cult.
Yeah, the True Cult people are like very quiet. You never hear them until they have made their decision. They're like, we have made our decision. But everybody else is lets us in. They're pretty communal.
But speaking of Facebook, what did he say? Did he call it the Facegram or something?
Facegram. Or Instaface, I think he called
Instaface.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, when you said Facebook, it reminded me of it.
Alright, Exodus, Fates warning.
Okay.
Let's go.
Whoa. Don't forget, if you want a Sori secret shirt, you gotta go to vinandsori.com. That's also where you can make requests. Song requests. And go.
Okay, so I just figured something out.
What?
Exodus is the name of the song. The name of the band is Fate's Warning.
Well, yeah, because the order was flipped. That's why I asked you. I'm like...
Which means that Kirk Hammett had nothing to do with this band.
Okay, you were wrong.
So it's Awaken the Guardian is the name of the record. Fate's Warning is the band, and Exodus is the last song, which I'm assuming of a concept record, like a fantasy type concept record thing.
Yeah.
So there we are. Figured it out.
It was pretty. I liked the
Exile.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what it sounded like?
Israel.
Yes.
Ah!
That's what I kept hearing.
Ah, I knew it.
How did you know?
I knew it.
How? Is that what you were hearing?
I was hearing too.
Yeah.
Oh, what a connection.
Oh, yes.
What connection there. Yeah, I was hearing Israel. So of course we both came up in dispensationalist households, so like Israel is like the pinnacle of. You know what? I'm pretty sure this is '86. A bunch of Christian rock people stole this stuff or this tune. Had to be.
Was it familiar to you too?
Oh, for sure. For
Me
sure.
too.
They just went in there at their rock show.
Snatched
We're
that right
snatching that.
The devil's music.
The
We're
devil.
taking it.
Yeah, and then like Israel. All the little Christian teenagers like, oh my gosh, you're so smart.
We have the best.
We have the best. Well, I mean, I don't know. These guys, Judas Priest, all the Iron Maiden, it just seemed like, I don't know. When I was listening to Korn and stuff,
yeah,
I was like, oh, I could do that and got a guitar, learn the blind riff in 2 seconds. You know, it's like, and then singing, forget it. I was just watching Fred Durst sing last night or this morning, whatever it was. It's like, oh, I can do that. Like you just felt like when you were listening to new metal, you're like, oh,
I can do.
Yeah. I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. These guys, it's just different.
Oh, I know.
You got to be able to hit notes.
Yep.
You got to scale work. You got to harmonize. Yeah.
You are required to practice.
You didn't feel like I just. If I was an '80s kid, like I wouldn't have felt like, oh yeah, I could just pick up a stick and just go.
Like they would have been your idols then.
Yeah. Well, I think in new metal, if a person was your idol, it was because you had this like deep emotional connection with them. But I think in '80s metal, if a person was your idol, it was because they had mastered the craft.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong or right with either one of them. I just think it's just the standards are just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that.
It was just,
I can see that.
It's just a whole different world with these guys. Skill level wise. And I don't know, I think, if you eat filet mignon too much, after a while you're like, you know what, just give me a 5 guys cheeseburger. And
I'll take a bowl of cereal.
That's pretty much how I explain the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. It's just like, as far as
so that's what you think happens?
Goes. Yeah, I just think it was just, I just think people were just like, this is, okay. You're a virtuoso. Oh, you're student Steve Vai. Oh, you don't say. No. Oh, again. 50 million notes in a 3-minute song. Oh, wow. Okay. I just think people got, tired of it. But of course, me, I hear this stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are great. Oh man, look at that guy hit the note.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious. We're so dumb. Okay.
There was a lot of things that were, there was things that were different in this lyric video than were on the list up here.
Yeah.
So.
A couple things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, but just sonically it was like
I liked it.
Yeah, it was really, I could tell that you really loved the chorus.
Yep.
They also have very good sing-along choruses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like stuff you
can
do
jump on with them.
Yeah, you're in the shower and you're going at it, you can hit those notes, I can't, so
I don't do that
I'll just do the screaming
I try
part.
to take some silence. If you check out my channel, My Sori Life, you'll see why I don't put any music when I'm in the shower. You need some silence.
Fair. Okay, so let's look at the lyrics.
Yeah, because I don't know what we're saying now.
Morning desert sun.
I was thinking, I guess it was like exodusing. That's not a word.
Exodus means to leave.
I know. That's why I said exodusing. You're trying to leave here and going somewhere else.
They're leaving someplace and they're going to Arcana.
Didn't it kind of sound like, didn't it kind of sound like, I don't know if I have allergies, my eyes are itching, or my face is itching. Didn't it kind of sound like, I don't know, some kind of spaceship at the end there?
What do you mean?
That sound at the end. Something was leaving.
Yeah. This is like these guys that used to put like fantasy novels to music. All right,
Yeah.
Stop the tape.
No. Let's keep pushing forward.
Stop making a big
Well,
deal
it's
out of
itching,
it.
and I think if I just do that one more time, then it'll be good, but then...
It won't.
Okay, go ahead.
These guys used to make fantasy novels and they put a soundtrack to it.
Okay, so Arcania, you've never heard of that before.
Arcana.
So you don't have some story or some smart thing to say about that?
No, Mystic Journey to Arcana.
Okay.
Travel stars, spheres, and trine. I'm pretty sure that's time.
That's what I thought it was.
Lyrics here are weird. I'll find different lyrics.
But it said trine on this too.
Did it? No. Trine again. I don't know what trine is. So, there you are. I just think that the story is at the end of it, this guy is leaving.
Yeah.
And then somebody deceived him. Like the whole thing was BS for a long time, and then they just bounced.
And they left him?
Well,
Or-
they left. False guardian, I will compel. False is a fear of heaven and hell. I should have known it's all a mirage just as well.
Yeah.
The power of good will not be shown by conquering fear.
What did that mean? I did not know what that line meant. The power of good will not be shown by conquering fear?
Let it be known it's a constant resist while facing transformation.
I thought that meant like that if you resist fear, it's like constant. You have to constantly resist fear until you fully transform. But why would good not be shown?
Because maybe what they're saying is it's impossible to ultimately overcome fear. It's a process, a lifelong process of resisting fear. That's where the change comes from. Not ultimately conquering it.
Yeah, I guess. Did you see? He read it said, "Beat no children."
I know.
He will inherit.
It's
Well,
bear no children is what
What?
it says. Yeah, that lyric says bear no children.
yeah, but I thought that this one was right because it says he will inherit the malignant fear in man. So it sounded to me like don't beat the kids because then you're gonna start that fear in them.
Well, it says bear, and I heard bear in the song. And I think bear is the right lyric because it's basically saying
So don't have any kids
because you're just gonna pass it down.
Yeah, a lot of people have that mindset.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing anybody into this world.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, you could do that, or you could be the change.
Right. You
Right.
could be the one. Teach them the right way.
Well, this is what I say all the time. It's like, it's like original sin is the easiest doctrine to prove. So here you are in this fantasy thing. He charmed my soul with his book of the dead.
Yeah.
He read it, said, bear no children. He will inherit the malignant fear in man. Sovereign the force more than emotion, it controls your destiny at hand. So it seems like he was trying to convince him to remain childless so that the child doesn't inherit the sinful nature, or in this world, fear would be the greatest thing that you're trying to avoid. And the protagonist comes to the conclusion that you cannot overcome fear. But the wizard or the wizard or whoever the false guardian was, the guardian, I guess, was trying to keep him on the planet and let's not have any more kids. It was what I'm thinking.
Okay. Sounds like the end of everything. If you.
Remember
That
we're watching Noah?
Yeah.
The movie? And of course this isn't right, but Noah basically came to the conclusion that everybody has original sin, so the flood's gonna kill everybody and then nobody's gonna have any kids after that. Remember he said, like, if it's a girl I'll kill her or whatever?
Yeah.
Because Noah was like, we're all so nasty.
That's not really true. That didn't really happen in the Bible.
Well, obviously it didn't happen. Here we are. But
Well, she didn't die in there either.
no, she didn't die here.
Right. So.
But that was the person who was writing that story, his interpretation of what Noah would be like. If the world got I think what they were saying is, if the world got so nasty that God had to kill everybody, then you must have seen some terrible, horrible stuff.
Yeah.
So then you couldn't really blame him for having that philosophy of saying like we're just too nasty to live.
Yeah, but it says that he found grace in the eyes of God. Yeah.
The Bible does. I'm talking about from the perspective of the movie.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a lot of people that like have that mentality of like, the guy was kooky. He was this ultra vegan guy, and he had shot this.
He didn't mean that he's kooky because he's a vegan. He's about to tell you why he's kooky.
Yeah,
Let the record show.
Well, they know that. They don't think that I think vegans are kooky.
Well,
but
you never know what people are gonna pull out of that.
This particular guy, well, that's also true. And your little disclaimer is not gonna help. I had one time somebody timestamped something that I said.
Yeah.
Somebody timestamped something that I said, and then they put, "You're such an idiot," because it was literally the opposite of what I said.
Oh, gosh.
And he had timestamped it. So
God.
there you are.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I was listening to the Joe Rogan show, and this guy, this ultra vegan crazy guy, who had what do you call it? Why can't I think? Somebody knocking on the door.
I know it was the neighbors of banging the wall.
Okay.
So
this ultra vegan crazy guy. He was on the Joe Rogan show, and him and his buddy had done this documentary on how terrible the meat industry is and blah blah blah. And one of the things he was talking about was like overpopulation and and how human beings are destroying the planet or whatever. Not just with the meat industry, just humans in general. And so Rogan goes, "Okay, so how do you plan on rectifying that situation?" He goes, "Well, I've sterilized myself because I don't want to take part in that. You know, the destruction of our planet and taking up the space of the animals and all this." And
taking up the space for the animals?
Well, yeah, because we move in and But anyway, all I'm saying is there are different iterations of like,
for sure.
There's too many of us, or we should stop reproducing because we cannot overcome the sinful nature or whatever. So this guy, this and it seems to be kind of like a divine being, because at the beginning it talks about gods of fire fall from the sky, reaped all the fruits and plagued earth dry.
Yep.
Distant vision, tempting water, fall to me. Fall to my knees. I'm going to drink it dry. Blazing desert sun. Reflection on the water. He caught my eye. Up in a tree, praying like a vulture. Fear, why don't you let me be? So.
In your mind.
Yeah, so this is like some sort of dark wizard, angel, whatever type of person.
But this person is telling him, like, your mindsets and the things that you're thinking about is just a mirage. Mirage is just a trap. Come with me. Is that what's happening?
No, I think he's telling him to stay on the earth, even though the earth is like a vast ruin now.
So what's the mirage that he's drinking that he's telling him to spit out?
Spit out the sand of the mirage. Be on your way.
That's why I thought, be on your way.
He said, "You're mine one day. Spit out the sand of the mirage. Be on your way." So what he's saying is, you're not going to be able to escape me. Like, you think that you're, of course.
But he says, be on your way. Exodus, ascend the plane. Exile this medium of bondage far beyond.
Babe, that's the chorus.
Yeah?
So I think that
you don't think that's what he's saying to him?
No, I think the chorus is the response. The chorus is the response. Okay. So the bad angel demon thing he's saying is looking at him and saying, "You're never going to be able to escape me. I'm going to overcome you. I'm going to beat you." But then the chorus is saying, "Exodus, ascend the plane, exile this medium of bondage far beyond."
So the mirage is the idea that he can leave.
Right.
Exodus.
Right.
I see.
Right. And the medium or the wizard or the demon or whatever is basically, his narrative is saying, "No, you're never going to be able to make it out." But the chorus is saying, "We will be able to make it out." I think that's what's happening.
Okay.
Oh, guardian, predestination call. See, there's again like this idea that your fate is sealed to this guardian or whatever. And I'm sure if we heard the other songs on the record, we'd know who the guardian was. Which is interesting because the term guardian kind of looks like a protecting role, but this guy is not a good guy.
Well, it ends up saying false guardian.
Right. Which is interesting because in Ezekiel, Satan is called a guardian cherub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I cast you from the stones of fire, O guardian cherub, which is interesting too, stones of fire, because here it says gods of fire. So, I don't know how much this guy knows about, Genesis or Ezekiel, but there you are. So, yeah, I think that's what's happening. And then at the end, they're like, we're going to get out of here. We're going to start new in Arcana, and we're going to realize that you can never totally overcome fear, but we just have to, every generation's going to have to constantly resist it while we're transforming. Which I think from a Christian perspective is probably...
I was going to say, I think there's some truth to that.
But right, because we say it's ultimately going to be conquered. We say that in the person of Jesus, it's ultimately been conquered. But like, you know, we've got a lot of world history to get to the point where, you know, the world is fit for him to come back. And so as we're all kind of getting there, you know, by following the way of Christ. I mean, that's Christianity, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's a very, very realistic view, those last two stanzas. The power of good will not be shown by conquering fear. Let it be known that it's a constant resistance while facing transformation.
Well, I think, too, like, the Bible talks about the devil and how, you know, like, what he's like and stuff like that. And then it talks about fear having torment and stuff like that. And then it also says, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. So, you know, in this, it's saying you have to resist fear. Like, and then that's how you overcome it. You know, it was just, I don't know if that's kind of messy sounding, I think. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Well, yeah. Well, and the relationship between fear and the Bible is very interesting. But, you know, it's the one who fears has not been perfected in love.
Yep.
Which I think is another missing element here, which is to say that, yeah, fear is always going to be there, but if we cultivate love, I think if you focus on overcoming fear or even resisting fear, I think that's the wrong angle. I think if you focus on cultivating love, the higher your love is, the more your fear decreases. And you know, the example of that would be if you were walking down the street and there was a stranger, and then out comes a black bear. Everybody's running for their life. You don't think about the other person. But if you're walking down the same street and your son is there and the black bear comes, now your first instinct is to make sure that your son is okay. And so what's the difference between the two? Both people are scared. Yeah. It's just that the mom is willing to lay down her life for the sake of her son because love overpowers fear, right? And I think that's the real issue is that, and you know, it sounds corny, whatever, but I mean, this is where we're at in 2018. People are scared to death of each other.
Well, maybe that's part of the reason why he didn't want them to have children, was because if he's trying to eliminate love, then he can increase more fear.
That's also true. Whoa, that's super. Whoo! That has some implications. That has, because I will say, no matter what your perspective on life is, when you have kids, the love thing increases and the fear thing decreases as far as personal.
It does.
You know, your own personal whatever. What do you give the song?
8.5. 9. I liked it.
8.5 for me too.
9. I moved bump 9 to a 9.
Okay. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.